Hello guys, this is Jackdaw, and here's the M3 Lee. And let's start the game. Most people say that this is probably the worst tank in the game. To some extent I can actually agree. It's more or less useless, except for a pretty decent gun that sits in the hull on the right side of the front. It's a 75mm howitzer that you can upgrade for a 75mm anti-tank gun, and I'm not sure, but I suspect that the 75mm anti-tank gun is the same gun that you can get for the M4 Sherman. But don't take my word for it, I might be wrong. So, can you actually polish shit and make it shine? Well, that was the mission I set out on for a couple of weeks ago, and I got myself the M3 Lee again, because I wanted to get the Ace tanker on it, and also because I have a sort of a love-hate relationship to absolutely sucky tanks. I like playing them and doing good in them. So yeah, let's watch the game and see how it goes. So I went up to a forward positioning from where I could take shots at enemies coming up to the town on the southeastern end of the map. But as I started moving up, I spotted these targets on the other side of the river. So I decided that it was quite important to get rid of that spotter, that Panzer 1C, first. And I thought, okay, when I have a spot on that Su-76, I might just as well take the shot. So I'm actually lagging behind, but that's not a bad thing in the M3 Lee, because it lacks somewhat in maneuverability, because it has no turnable turret. That means you have to turn the whole tank to shoot at enemies. So this thing is more or less a tank destroyer, and that's how I play it. And that's my advice for it as well. If you want to do good in the M3 Lee, use it as a tank destroyer. And be very careful, because you have almost no armor. It's not good, and your armor won't bounce shots. So at this point, our attack wave into the city has failed, and a lot of tanks have died. So I take the opportunity to flank the enemy tanks that had gone into town, and try to get some flanking shots in. I killed that VK-2001D, and I tried to run away from that heavy tank, and he should get a shot in on my tracks. But I don't want to stay in that position. I certainly don't want to traverse my whole tank around to get the gun at him out in the open street, so I just continue rolling up to get a flanking shot in. So that's what I'm aiming for here. But I also want to finish off that Covenanter before I go up. and yeah, he just stopped right in my crosshairs, so I took the shot. And here I'm thinking I'm gonna lure this DW2 around the corner, and I'm gonna try to track him before he can get the gun pointed at me, but I failed because the shot bounced. But luckily I had a higher fire rate than he did, so I could take him out. And here I'm trying to get away from the enemy artillery by just rolling forward as fast as possible. And I'm thinking that, okay, so at this point we're outnumbered, so I'm gonna go back and try to defend. Initially I just looked at the map, and at that point my friendly Su-85B wasn't on the map, so I just saw me and two artillery. I thought, okay, I'm alone together with two artillery against the B1 and 3 enemy RTs. So I'll start rolling back, and I can see that this Sturmpanzer 2 is moving up, and that he has encountered the B1. So I take advantage of that, and I start shooting at the B1. Missed the first shot. Second could have been a hit, and that could have been a hit as well, but now I'm uncertain of where he is. I can see that this Su-85 is coming up to help out, and he's in a better spot to spot that B1, so I just stay put and I try to take him out. But that's not the easy task. So 6 rounds left.
That one didn't go through.
And I aim for the artillery, since the Su-85B took out the B1. And now I have to aid my teammate, because he can't go up alone against 3 enemies. And we haven't spotted any of those tanks yet, so we don't know where they are at all. But I'm suspecting that the SAU 40 is probably camping somewhere in a bush near the base, and that the Sexton 1 and the M7 Priest probably near him. So I load up HE rounds, because I know that the SAU 40 and the artillery don't have especially good armor, so I'm gonna try to use that to take them out easier with a penetrating shot. And I get stuck here, so I need to take a different route up. And I'm trying to not go head on into the capping area, so I'm trying to flank around to come up from a different direction from where they think I'm going to come up at. My teammate spotted this Sexton. I'm trying to get up to get an angle on him for a shot. He takes out the Su-85. I fire, I miss, I stop to aim. No damage. I can see that the SAU 40 is AFK, or a bot of some kind. And since I bounced or did no damage with the last HE round, I switched to armor piercing. I'm trying to stay mobile, so that the M7 Priest won't kill me. And since I can see that the South 40 is AFK, I don't have to fire at him just yet. But I suspect that artillery is behind this hill here. And I'm thinking, okay, if I charge over the hill, he will know when I come over. So I need to kill this South 40 first, and then go away from the radar, or become invisible on the map, so that I can surprise him. And he probably thinks I'm going to come over this ridge, so I decide to flank around. And at that point, the priest starts capping our base. So, yeah, the game's more or less over. I don't have time to go over to our base to decap, and if I do, I might risk losing the game, because we started capping after he did. So I decide to hide behind this South 40 and use him as a shield, and let the SU-5 do his work. And that's more or less the end of the game, actually. So, M3 Lee, not the greatest tank in the game, but it can be fun, and it's certainly a challenge. And if you play it carefully, and you use your AP pool as a sort of a shield against some tanks, you will do good. So play it carefully and try to get long range shots in with a good gun, and try not to let enemy tanks get close to you, because that means you're probably gonna have to traverse around to get the gun at the firing point on the enemy, and you will find yourself in some pretty difficult situations if you do that. So, well, let's have a look at some post-game stats then. So here we can see that I got the Master Ace Tanker badge, and I got the High Caliber award, as well as the Top Gun medal. And that got me 1,269 experience without then a premium account, and that would have been 1,903 experience with a premium account, which is quite good. Or it's not bad anyway, considering it was an M3 game. And here's the team score chart, and it shows that I did almost 1100 more damage than the second guy on our team, and scored more damage than any of the enemy players. So moving on, we can see that I fired 43 shots, and I managed only to score hits with 25, of which 22 was penetration, so that's quite good, but accurate is horrible. And I got hit 5 times and only deflected 1 shot. And I actually made some profit in this game, gaining 24,000 credits. So that's all for me, and I hope to see you next time.